What's up, fish friends? Join me as I set up this 75-gallon planted tank at my local cat cafe. The cat cafe actually already has an aquarium that I set up for them, but I recently had a client's tank explode because it was old, and this one's pushing 35 years. The seals don't look too bad, but I'm just a little bit paranoid. Don't want any harm to come to all these cute little kitties that live here and are all adoptable. If you live in the Front Range, come check NoCo Cat Cafe out. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is take some clean water out of the tank. It's important to grab it now because once I start yanking plants out and rocks and stuff, it kicks up a ton of gunk into the water. It's just part of the process. There's really no way around it. And once everything's out, I drain the tank down pretty far. It's a lot easier to catch the fish this way when the tank is full and you got plants in there and stuff. There's always going to be a bunch that escape you. So might as well just get it over with and catch them. The sediment in the water column's not going to harm them, at least for the short duration that they'll be in there. The fish were not too hard to catch, but my God, there are so many shrimp in here. I spent a lot of time netting up shrimp out of there. Oh yeah, here comes the new aquarium. It's a 75-gallon, 4-foot long tank. One of my clients donated the stand and the canopy, and then I purchased the aquarium as a way to say thank you to this incredible business that adopts out hundreds of homeless cats every year. In fact, if you've noticed any of our 3 cats in videos I filmed from home, they've all come from the NoCo Cat Cafe. I'm not going really fancy with this hardscape by any means. I'm planning on just using these 2 really nice big chunks of wood and then laying a little bit of a barrier with some granite and tying the wood down with zip ties, because these 2 pieces of wood are pretty big chunks. They're going to want to float like crazy. So super buoyant. Zip ties are a must, or at least for the one on the right, I'm just using rocks to weigh it down. And then time for the soil. I'm not blocking up this rock barrier at all. I'm just laying the soil out. There's a lot of sea-chem fluorite in here, which is probably the best type of like aqua soil to use if you're not creating a barrier and keeping the soil next to sand. It's pretty heavy, it doesn't move too much, and if you get the red type, it almost looks kind of cool when it starts to mix in with the soil. It's really natural looking. And then sand, tons and tons of pool filter sand. This stuff's pretty cheap, not quite as affordable as play sand. It's maybe like 20 bucks for a big old bag, which maybe I think I used a little over a full bag in this tank. And it is nicer than the play sand if you're gonna have a lot of catfish, because it's softer on them. If they like to filter through their gills, then it's a good choice. Plants, plants, plants. I got tons of plants from the previous setup. Lots of valsinaria, and then some beefy stems, some hygrophila, some lotus, some stargrass, tons of cool plants. Because I'm using the same filter and the same soil, even though it's a new tank, it's kind of like just a little bit of a size upgrade from the previous tank. There's still a lot of the beneficial microbial life from the substrate and other stuff. So I'm going to be adding the fish right away. And in order to acclimate them, I'm just slowly adding water from the tank into the buckets that the fish and shrimp are in. Do this quite a few times, waiting maybe like 5 minutes in between each, and then add the fish. A couple months down the road and things look terrific. This tank has filled out so well. One of my favorite things about this tank is that all of the fish have been rehomed. Since the Cat Cafe is all about finding cats good homes, I thought it would be a cool idea to take in fish from people who couldn't keep their tanks anymore or were moving. I get quite a lot of requests for rehoming fish as a aquarium maintenance company owner. People do get in touch with me quite often. So there's never any shortage of fish. They're all community fish, tons of cherry barbs. They've been breeding in here like crazy. Ember tetras, they've bred a little bit. Lots of neons. I'd say these fish are extremely good representatives of the most popular fish that people keep, and that's why there's so many of them that are being relinquished. And then I did stock the tank with some cherry shrimp because I think they always belong in every tank. Another thing that I include in a lot of tanks I set up is duckweed or some other kind of floating plant. They do a great job of absorbing excess nutrients in the water column. And then I do clean this tank out every 2 weeks. I give it a 40% water change, clean the filter out, all that stuff, and things seem to be looking pretty good. Something I have added to the tank are leaves. Leaves are such a great addition to any tank, in my opinion. They provide biofilm for shrimp to feed on, extra habitat for fish to forage and swim around in, and it also does a really good job at filling some of this sandy space. It really just helps to add that extra natural vibe. You could kind of imagine some trees hanging over this tank, dropping their leaves in there. It just really makes it feel like you've brought a slice of nature into your home, or cat cafe in this case. As far as equipment goes, I got a Fluval 407 under here, and then for lights, Night Crew and a Current Orbit, I believe it's called. They were both pretty affordable lights, and they do a really good job growing plants, so no need to spend crazy money on that. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button. That's a great way to help support my channel, which I really appreciate. If you live in the area, you really should come check out NoCo Cat Cafe, even if you're not in the market for a cat, but you probably should also consider adopting a cat. Alright, until next time, see ya.